What's up, 2K fam? I'm back again with another build video for you today, and today is 2K day. I hope you guys have got the game. I hope you've had fun playing, and I hope you got a nice build going. But I will say, I've been watching a lot of streams, I've been playing a little bit, and damn, shooting is much more difficult this year than 2K20. So with that in mind, I think at least in the short term before they patch things, those inside post scores are going to be very overpowered. So this is a good time to showcase a build for Shaquille O'Neal, one of the best big men in the game. So we all know Shaq for his overwhelming strength in the post, and he was just a dominant scorer in his prime. I mean, nobody could stop him because nobody could really physically match up with the guy. He could back down anybody, get right next to the hoop, throw a move, throw a pump fake, and go up for a crazy thunderous dunk. And this guy has ripped down several backboards, or broken a few too. And he actually led the league in scoring 3 times. So this guy got buckets and was just really unstoppable for a number of years. But people also forget he was really strong with his post defense as well. In fact, he's 8th all time in the NBA in blocks, and he's 15th all time in rebounds. So great rebounder, great post defender, but also a monster on the offensive end in the post. So we're going to try to recreate that in this Shaq build. All right, before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can get alerted when I go live with new videos, new builds, new tips to help you out in 2K21. But without further ado, here we have Shaq Pendis. His position is the center. He's right-handed. We'll go with jersey number 34 for his prime days as a Laker. And let's get into the skill breakdown. For the skill breakdown, of course, you know, he deserves the full blue for the finishing, but he's also a great defender. So we are going to go down here to red and blue even. Once we get into this, we're going to choose the physical profile. I like the balanced profile. Of course, he has crazy strength, but we're going to make up some of that strength when we get to the measurements as far as wingspan and weight are concerned. So I think the balanced pie chart is great for his physical profile. Now we get to set our potential. We are going to max out close shot, driving dunk, standing dunk, and post hook. That gets us to 25 finishing badges. You have a maximum of 26 in this build. So boost this one up, driving layup, until you hit 26, which is at, let's see, 58. All right, once you get to shooting, you can just skip it because Shaq is not known for his shooting, and even if you max these attributes out, he's not going to be an effective shooter. So just don't even touch it. Let's put those badge points elsewhere. Playmaking, max out pass accuracy. Ball handling, we're going to put this to 38, and then post moves, we'll max that out. That gets us to 12 playmaking badges. When we get to our defense, interior defense is a must. Let's max out interior D. Perimeter defense is probably not going to be important for Shaq, really, since he's going to spend most of his time in the paint, so we'll skip that. Lateral quickness is valuable, so we'll max that. Skip steal, max out block, and then max out your rebounding. And that should get us to 0. And it also gets us to 21 defense and rebounding badges. When you add up all of the badge upgrades available, we hit 60 for this build, which is really, really strong. So jumping into the body shape, you could probably go with built or burly for Shaq if you want to be accurate. I think I'm going to go with burly. And we'll set him at 7'1", which is his listed height. You'll see that this does impact some things negatively as far as his quickness is concerned on defense and his driving finishing attributes. But he's a 7'1" player. Okay, so for Shaq's weight, his weight listing has fluctuated quite a bit, but a standard listing for him is 325. You'll see the max weight here in 2K is 290, so we can't actually reach that. Since his strength is already at a 95 there, just to make this build as good as possible, I think I would lower this down until I hit 50 speed, just to make sure that he has a little bit more agility. This still keeps his interior defense at a 90. and his strength remains at a 95. So I think this is going to be a little bit lighter than a standard Shaq build, but I think that this is a smarter way to go, and will get you a little bit more agility and ability to move around the court and help your team out. So I think 274 is a great weight for this build. Wingspan, since we don't have to shoot at all, just max this out. That'll boost everything up that is important for Shaq, including getting standing dunk to the max of 95 off rip. His block goes up to 92. Offensive rebound 90 and defensive rebound an 86. And remember, all of these attributes will get +4 once you hit 99. So we're looking at some really strong attribute levels for the categories that really matter for Shaq, which is great. When it comes to takeover, really it's your choice as far as how you want this build to function. Your options are rim protector, glass cleaner, and post scorer. In my opinion, I think post score is the most valuable for this build, given that his defensive attributes are already so high. I think when you get that post score takeover, you're going to be borderline unstoppable in the paint. So especially if you're a Tues player, post scorer is the way to go. So pick what you want. I'm going to go with post scorer. And the build is complete, and the build name that we get is Paint Beast, which I think is completely appropriate for Shaq. It says shades of Dikembe Mutombo, Hassan Whiteside, and Jared Allen, which are very generally confusing comparisons, but don't mind that. I think this build is going to be a beast, play a lot like Shaq, and be unstoppable in the paint. All right, guys, so again, we have 60 badges to work with. Let's jump on into finishing badges, where we have 26 potential upgrades. This is what I'm going with for Shaq. Back down Punisher. Basically, nobody's going to be able to stop this build from backing down close to the hoop. Along with that, drop stepper. Both of these on Hall of Fame. So once you get close to the hoop, you throw a quick drop step on there and then go up for the dunk, where you have a 95 standing dunk rating off rip. So this could be incredibly powerful. When you have another big man on you and it's a little bit tougher to back people down, which I don't think you'll have much trouble. I think the hook shot in years past has been very effective, so having deep hooks on gold will help make that hook shot even more lethal. Since his dunk rating is already very high, again, let's just put Lob City at about silver. Pick and roller, I think, given that Shaq is a big body player, setting screens is going to be really valuable to whoever you're playing with. So having pick and roller up around gold will be really helpful. Putback boss, I'm assuming you're going to be getting some offensive rebounds with this guy. So this will help you be more effective with those putbacks. Consistent finisher, this will just make sure that you are making more shots close to the hoop, even if you're timing things poorly. And then contact finisher, we're getting on posters and we want those animations, so contact finisher needs to go in Hall of Fame. So that's what we have for finishing badges. Moving on to shooting badges, again, I always recommend going Hot Zone Hunter as a big man with one badge, because this will trigger once you start throwing up those hook shots. So that's a great one if you only have one badge to work with and you're not a shooting build. Playmaking is very interesting on these big man builds. You don't have a wide selection of badges here. There's a lot missing, but you have all the stuff that you need. Quick first step, still very important. For any build, make sure that you have that on gold. Post spin technician will come in very useful with those post moves, getting some easy dunks, easy takes to the rack. Break starter, since we're going to be getting so many rebounds, you need to be able to accurately outlet those passes. Bailout, just because it comes in handy for any build. And then unpluckable, because once you get that ball in the post, it pretty much it inherently attracts the defense to come swipe at the ball. So having unpluckable will be very helpful for a post build as well. Defense and rebounding badges box, I recommend starting this at bronze, seeing how the game actually operates over time, because sometimes you can get away with just having box on bronze, catch the animations, and then with a body as big as Shaq's, you probably don't need this to be too much higher. Brick wall, because we are going to be setting those screens, doing pick and rolls is going to be important. Clamps, I think you should have it on, but you don't need to max this out for a big man build like this, because you're not trying to stay in front of perimeter players, and it will be easier to stay in front of post players who don't have the same level of speed. So I think clamps is a great option at about silver. Intimidator, still one of the best badges in the game. Max that out to Hall of Fame. Moving truck, just to be able to push people around in the post. Post move lockdown, to be able to shut down other bigs who are trying to get that drop step on you, or other post moves. And then just be a beast in the paint with the rebound chasing. Make sure you're catching all those boards, and then protecting the rim. I like both of these badges, rim protector and rebound chaser, on gold. And that is how I distribute the badges to do a Shaq build. And let me know what you think. How would you do this differently? But I think this is a nice little spread of badges for a big man like Shaq. So I will go jump into the gameplay. Thank you guys so much for checking out the build, and I will catch you at the end of the highlights for some closing words. So this build is extremely powerful and efficient in the post. I mean, when all was said and done, I ended up with 52 points and 21 rebounds and a few blocks in this demo game. So this build can really do a lot of work. Most defenders, at least on this Celtics team, really could not match up with a Shaq build down low. I mean, he pretty much got anything he wanted, got to the hoop with ease, and was able to throw down a lot of dunks, a lot of easy layups. So if you're looking for a build that's different from the meta, that can really get stuff done in the post, I think this one is definitely worth considering. Of course, it is very slow, so even with that 50 speed, you are just plodding up and down the court. There were a few times where I didn't even make it to half court before the play was over, so keep that in mind. So if you are more of a Tues player, this wouldn't be an issue. But if you are playing threes or competitively in 5-on-5, just keep that in mind. This is very slow. But if you want to do work in the half-court offense, or be a great defensive anchor, I think this build is great. It's really fun and different. Best of luck with your builds this year, and I'll be back soon with another build for you.